30th legislative.
As Committee on Education, give a report and verification on Township School, Mosque Road. Mr. Speaker, you recall that you charged the Education Committee to go and verify the status of the school in town, going on the petition that came before these chambers. My colleagues all have a report. I don't want to bore all of you by reading all of it, but I will go straight to the findings of the committee. Mr. Speaker, we have visited Township School, and our findings as a committee is that one, there are 2 schools affected in this location, in the same premises. There are Township School 1 and School 2, Mosque Road, Port Harcourt. 2, the schools are in terrible state, Mr. Speaker. 3, the world-class primary school structures are in a state of ruin. Everything has collapsed. 4, the library computer laboratories have been looted, vandalized. The decks, number 5 chair, windows, doors have been vandalized. 6, electrical appliances, everything that has to do with computer for the learning of the children has been carted away by criminals, known criminals. School 1 has only 4 permanent teachers and 3 support teachers. School 2 has 5 permanent teachers and 3 support teachers.
Only 4 teachers?
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker. A support teacher in School 2 was seen teaching primary 1 and primary 2 together in the same class.
Hold on. 1 teacher is teaching 2 classes.
Mr. Speaker,
in the same class.
During debate, I would like to inform this House of what I saw, what we witnessed as a committee. It will interest you that River State, we are going backward. But let me just give the report as it is, my colleagues, to understand where we are going as a state. The support teachers are given a token by head mistress. Some of them are given 2,000 to work for 2 weeks because they don't have job. So they just throw in to help to teach the children of River State in 21st century, Mr. Speaker. The schools are growing. Mr. Speaker, these are the findings that we committee. We even have it in photographs. And we had even speeches from the support staffs in River State, 21st century, that people strove to come and help the headmistress. A school that should have 12 staffs has only 3 staffs. And we have from primary 1 to primary 6, Mr. Speaker. Our students, our children are suffering. Because the water facilities are not functioning. I saw the children urinating outside. Mr. Speaker, it's a sad one to behold. Security officers engaged by the school are no longer there. So the schools are not even safe and secure, both for the students and for the teachers. Finally, we ran into Port Harcourt City Council staffs, trying to see whether they can help to cut the grasses for them. I commend them, but I decided to put it as a findings, one of the findings, what we saw, just to be very transparent to this House. Mr. Speaker, these are our recommendations as a committee. Against the background, the committee recommends as follows: that the House do invite seriously the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, and the Chairman of River State Universal Basic Education to appear before her, explain the state of affairs in the universal education schools in our dear state. Pursue the government to embark on immediate security architecture of all township schools, especially the ones we visited, that are in the heart of the state capital. Reward the 6 support teachers that we saw in the 2 schools, who sacrificed their time and energy to teach the future of this state, our children. Urge the government to declare a state of emergency in the universal basic education in this state, Mr. Speaker. Employ enough teachers to address manpower needs in the education sector around River State, and other decisions this House may deem fit in this premise. Mr. Speaker, my conclusion will be that, Mr. Speaker, the House finding was what the assignment even beyond. We are convinced our recommendations will go a long way addressing the challenges in our education system. And we want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for sending us on these fact findings. I wouldn't have known, even as Chairman of the Committee of Education. I thank you for your leadership. And so the committee members and my humble self as Chairman, Igwe Afoji, Honorable Lazaro Para, Honorable Major Jack, Honorable Amadi Emila, Honorable Solomon Wami, Honorable Franklin, Honorable Granville Ekinari Wellington, Honorable George Inemi Alabo, Barrister Ejo, the one for is our committee attorney, and Dr. Callistius is our committee clerk. Mr. Speaker, with your kind leave, can I please lay it at the table?
Second, no motion for adoption of this.
No desk, no chair. That tells you our children is on the floor. No window, no doors. If it is raining, it's windy. No window to close, no door. Cold. You know, when you carry a dead body of another person, it's like you're carrying a lot of food. The people responsible, because they are able and capable to pay school fees in private schools, they no longer care for the less privileged. So disheartening. I think I will align myself to Recommendation 4 that says state of emergency should be declared, and I support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For the report they have given to us so far. Mr. Speaker, like my colleagues have said, that these two schools in one premises are the closest to government house, in fact, at the heart of River State. And if they could be like this, Mr. Speaker, one could imagine what schools in the chain have turned to. So schools in the chain have turned to a place where hunters go for expedition to catch animals. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate that in 2025, Mr. Speaker, we are talking of a school, one teacher teaching 2 classes. Mr. Speaker, no wonder the private schools are thriving, because there are no teachers in the schools. It's not peculiar to the UBE, even in the senior secondary schools. I want to add, Mr. Speaker, that in inviting the permanent secretary and the chairman of the UBE, the chairman of the senior secondary school should also be invited. Mr. Speaker, in our local schools, in the schools in the rural area, in some schools, there's no teacher at all. You have in some schools where you have one principal and no teacher in that school. And every day, this ministry allocates money to, monies are allocated to this ministry. One wonders what the monies allocated to them are being used for. Mr. Speaker, I'm in support that without delay, that these officials of the ministry and the boards should be invited so that we will know what is happening to our schools. And we will not watch and sit down and watch our schools to collapse. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I represent a sanitary process. Mr. Speaker, I rise again just to support the report of the House Committee on Education on the verification visit to Township School 2, Moscow Road, Port Harcourt. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want to say much, but this
it is happening. This particular problem in River State, to me, is not new. Mr. Speaker, last year, the House Committee on Education visited Calabari Girls High School. The school was refurbished by the past administration. And when we got there, we met the principal of the school. The House Committee Chairman on Education was there with us. The principal cried that please, we should thank the speaker, the members of the 10th Assembly, for a job well done. But the House should know that they don't have teachers, that they lack teachers. Mr. Speaker, I am aware that most of the secondary schools in River State do not have teachers, do not have securities where our children go to learn. Mr. Speaker, I wish you extend this visit to some of the local government. Mr. Speaker, a few days ago, I visited Opopo. I visited Opopo for a friend's occasion. Mr. Speaker, when they pointed out comprehensive secondary school Opopo, I wept. I was forced to ask if the school was located, or they said no, not located, this is the school. Mr. Speaker, I want to plead that you send another special delegation to Opopo to see the state of things. Send to K, and some other places. Mr. Speaker, our children need education. Mr. Speaker, our children need good environment. Mr. Speaker, we are their representatives. If we don't talk, if we don't speak, if we don't deliberate on issues like this, Mr. Speaker, who will not speak, who will not deliberate on their behalf? Mr. Speaker, I want to beg that things need to be done urgently. And I want to say, according to adage, that a stitch in time saves nine. Mr. Speaker, I want to beg of you. I know you are a very good leader that we know. Mr. Speaker, do all what it takes to invite Ministry of Education. Let us invite them. Allowing committee, yes, it's the procedure. But if allow the committee to invite them, let us know what is the problem. Let us know what is the problem. If we fail to do so, God forbid, these children tomorrow will be the one that will form themselves to say herdsmen, God forbid. To say they are not the Boko Haram of River State, God forbid. Mr. Speaker, it is possible, but God forbid. Mr. Speaker, please let us expedite action to make sure we call on these persons to know what to do. The members of the 10th Assembly, we are always ready to assist where it is necessary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my very dear colleagues that has deliberated on this matter. Thank you, and God bless.
Yesterday, during visitation to that school, Mr. Speaker, this report is very explanatory. If it is not that we must do justice to this report by debating, have said that all that has been applied here, all that has been recommended, that justice should be done to them immediately, because it's an eyesore for a school that is in Port Harcourt Metropolis, in a city of Port Harcourt local.
It is the closest to government house.
It's close to government, just like I said. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for adding that. So, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate. Let me go to prayer 4. Urge the government to declare a state of emergency in the universal basic education in the state, starting with the township school 1 and 2. What that school needs is total rehabilitation, maybe demolishing them and building a new one. That is what that. Mr. Speaker, I won't say much because, like I have said, this report is very explanatory. It has served all purpose. So I want to urge my colleagues to add their voice and support this recommendation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. God bless this house.
Has made findings, and in these findings, I find it very disheartening. Very, very disheartening. So I want to align myself everything in this report. If a school in Port Harcourt, as Mr. Speaker said, the closest to government house, can be so dilapidated, can be so vandalized, then when you talk of Digima local government, you talk of as far as Kim, Ogurama, Tombia, Bakana, Bile is only imagine. You can just imagine what will happen in these places. What the rot. Because some of my communities, you have to take boat ride very far. Mr. Speaker, I support this report in its entirety, and I rest my case. Thank you.
Harassment of motorists by vehicle inspection officers of the River State Ministry of Transport. Mr. Speaker, we know that vehicle inspection officers of the River State Ministry of Transport are charged with the responsibility of ensuring roadworthiness of vehicles, enforcing traffic regulations, and promoting safety on our roads. But Mr. Speaker, in recent times, this organization, which was formed with genuine and very germane intended and intentions, has become a menace to Rivers and other residents of River State. Mr. Speaker, on a daily basis, we see and we hear reports of constant harassments of motorists and commuters by these officers. Mr. Speaker, our people have to contend with conventional police officers. Our people have to contend with traffic officers. Our people have to contend with road safety. And then again, they now have to contend with officers of the VIO, harassing them on a daily basis. Mornings on the roads, you see them, harassing teachers who are going to school to teach, lecturers who are going to school to lecture, businessmen and women who are going to carry out their businesses, workers who are going to work. Each day, these things happen. Mr. Speaker, we're here as voices of our people. For every teacher that is stuck on the road unduly, there are students waiting in the class to receive lectures. For every worker going to work that is delayed on the road in the morning, there's a query waiting for him or a circuit waiting for him. For every businessman or businesswoman who is harassed and delayed on the road, there's a chance of business to be lost. There's man-hour lost. There's travel time increased. Mr. Speaker, let it not be that what was intended for good will now turn around to be evil. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I have brought this motion. And I pray that this House resolve as follows. Number one, condemn in strong terms the excessive harassment and unprofessional conduct of some of these officers operating under the aegis of the River State Ministry of Transport. Prayer number 2, Mr. Speaker, is to urge the Ministry of Transport to immediately investigate the activities of VIO personnel across the state and bring errant officers to book. Mr. Speaker, number 3 is to call on the Ministry of Transport to adopt a more transparent and technology-driven method on vehicle inspection and roadworthiness certification to minimize direct confrontation between officers and motorists, which we have seen to be happening very often of recent. Mr. Speaker, prayer number 4 is to urge the River State government to retrain these officers on ethics, public relations, and human rights compliance in the discharge of their duties. Prayer number 5, Mr. Speaker, is to mandate the Committee on Transport to monitor compliance and report back to the House within 4 weeks. Mr. Speaker, and any other the House may deem necessary in the circumstance. For your kind leave, Mr. Speaker, may I lay this motion on the table.
Like shedding tears. I've been holding back tears sitting down here today. The reason is because we have been elected by the good people of Rivers State to represent all constituencies here in the Rivers State House of Assembly. Our people are looking up to us for redemption, for salvation in terms of what they are going through, the hardship they are going through. Public schools in Rivers State, particularly at the primary and secondary level, are generally in a deplorable condition. It's a fact. The reason is because of abandonment by people who are supposed to be doing the needful. Look at what the committee chairman of education just said on his visit yesterday to Township School 2 here in Port Harcourt, just along Moscow Road. If this kind of school can be in this kind of condition, what do you think is the fate of other schools in the rural areas? This school is about the closest school to government house. As at yesterday, the House Committee Chairman of Education found out that one teacher is teaching 2 classes. 2 classes are in one classroom being taught by one teacher. Primary 1 and 2. So the teacher will teach primary 1 small, a little, while primary 2 is listening to primary 1 class. Then primary 1 will stop listening, while the teacher will teach primary 2. Maybe they are blocking their ears, and they are in the same classroom. No toilets, no electricity, yet that school is sharing fence with the PhD headquarters. No light, no electricity, no security. That same school is directly opposite the police headquarters. Meanwhile, vandals have taken over the school. They destroyed the little facilities they had before now. The worst of it is that upon what we said when this motion came up, nothing has happened. The Rivers State Executive Council has not done anything. They have done nothing to remedy the situation. This is a sad commentary. I don't want to begin to reel out all that the committee chairman has already said because it's already on paper. But let me just re-emphasize his call for a declaration of state of emergency on our primary and secondary schools. Something has to be done to our schools, for our children, for the future of these states. Our primary schools and secondary schools cannot remain like this. They cannot remain without teachers. When the last administration was leaving, the plan for the employment of people, I think 10,000 staff across the state, took place, interviews. What has happened? People were not employed. But when it is time for protest, funds will come for people to go and protest. When it is time to employ teachers and make teachers to be in the classrooms, there will be no money. We cannot continue to keep quiet. We cannot continue to fold our arms while our children continue to suffer. While teachers continue to cry. How would anyone believe that in the year 2025, in a state like Rivers State, one teacher will be teaching 2 classrooms under one roof? How will anyone believe that a school that is very close to the government house, in the year 2025, that pedestrians will be called to come and teach people because there are no teachers? This is an abomination. It is an aberration, and it is unacceptable. Something has to be done. We will not allow this indolence to continue. We are the only people mandated by law to fight for our people, fight for our parents. Parents are crying. The complaints we are getting, the pictures they are sending to us are coming from parents, from township school too. The other day, somebody went to a school in Eche and saw children inside the classroom with even weed on their roof. How the weed went to the roof and they are letting on that, I don't imagine. I'm trying to remember the name of that community now. It's appalling. Is it that we don't have funds in the states? Of course we have. As at the time the administrator Ibas was leaving, he left over 600 billion naira in the accounts of Rivers State. Over 600 billion by October. Can such funds be used to remedy the situation in our schools? Distinguished colleagues, I think we need to take decisive steps on the issue of the bad situation of our primary schools and secondary schools. Enough is enough. We cannot allow Rivers people to continue to suffer. So, distinguished colleagues, I think if the executive will not declare a state of emergency on our schools, I will seek the leave of the House for us to declare emergency on public schools at the primary and secondary levels. We will declare it. Let the House declare it. And we will do what we need to do within our powers. I went to the primary school in my community, Elios. I was crying throughout. I was there last week. Children are learning, the children are sitting on the windows. Children are sitting on the windows to learn. Just go to community primary school, Elios. They are sitting on the windows to learn. No chairs. Ceiling, everything has dropped. When it's raining, some of the classrooms, water is pouring. And that is why, if you go there, I'm sure when we go there, you see, I'm already doing a project for additional classrooms in that school. The project is ongoing. But where they are today, you won't believe that we are part of Rivers State. The same, go local government by local government. So, we cannot continue like this. If we don't have funds, we'll be told there are enough, but we are aware we have more than enough. When these children leave the classroom and enter the streets, we don't know what they will become. Of course, we know it's not going to be a good story. So, we need to declare that emergency on our primary and secondary schools. Distinguished colleagues, I think what we will do at this point, we are going to assist the House Committee, or rather, the House Committee on Education. We need to work with the Committee of the Whole. we are going to commit this matter to the committee of the whole. We'll commit it to the committee of the whole to enable the entire House to join the House Committee on Education and finding out what is happening with our primary schools and secondary schools. What is happening with the issue of teachers? What is happening with facilities in these schools? So that we can bring this matter to the fore. Even if we don't achieve any other thing in this 10th Assembly, one thing we must put on record is that we're able to drag attention to our public schools at the primary and secondary levels. Our children, I went to a public school, I went to a public primary school, I went to a public secondary school, and it wasn't this bad. I didn't sit in a classroom with people from other levels, with one teacher teaching all of us in one classroom. I didn't go through that. I wonder what my fate would have been if that was my situation. So, distinguished colleagues, I'll put it to the House that with your leave, the House Committee on Education will have to partner with the Committee of the Whole. If it means traversing all the schools in the state or most of them, we will start visiting the schools to find out the situation in our various constituencies. These teachers cannot speak. If they even speak to the media about the situation, they will be transferred or even sacked for speaking up. So we are the ones who speak for them. We will speak for them. They should not speak anymore. We will go there and see for ourselves what is going on. So, distinguished colleagues, with your leave, we will say that the House Committee on Education, they've done a wonderful job. What we have seen in Township School 2 is just one of the numerous situations across the state. Township School 2 is a microcosm of the larger education system in Rivers State. What we are seeing there is replicating in most of the schools, particularly in the rural areas. I think we need to move around and see what is going on so that the needful can be done. Distinguished colleagues, I thank you for your time, and I've already directed that the House Committee, the Committee of the Whole, we partner with the House Committee on Education in looking at this situation. Thank you. Clerk.
Move that this House adjourn to Thursday next week, December 4th. I so move, Mr. Speaker.